Hello everyone, my name is Melissa Fry, author, editor, lover of stories, and a grammar nerd. So I'm going to go unscripted again, so we'll just see what comes out. So if you follow me on Instagram or even if you read my email newsletter, you know that I recently announced that I'm re-releasing my debut novel, The Secret of the Codex. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about the reasons why I decided to do that. So hopefully you can kind of evaluate for yourself to see if it's something you might want to do. You can look at my reasons and tell me I'm crazy, or maybe you agree with them and you want to explore that option for yourself. So here we go. A few reasons, probably 3, why I decided to re-release my novel. Okay, so the first reason that I decided to re-release my debut novel, The Secret of the Codex, is because it needed a new cover. Why, you ask? Well, okay, so let me explain. I designed my first cover myself. I know, it's like a no-no for new authors to do. I just kind of toy around with graphic design. I kind of like to do it. So I decided to try my hand at doing my first book cover. So I was really excited. I found an image that I felt conveyed the vibe of the book. It looked Mayan to me. I got a little bit of feedback. And so I thought it was a pretty decent cover. Of course, I didn't know anything about book design, book cover design, anything like that. And the cover was okay. But as the months went on, I realized that I had an issue. I realized that the cover I had did not entice people to buy. But more than that, I also found that even though I could possibly get someone to spend the $2.99 to buy even just the ebook of it, the cover does not invite them to read the book. Now, I spent months and years, as I'm sure you have, on your book, making it the best it can be, developing the characters, making sure there weren't any plot holes, the whole process of writing a book. And I felt like I had a really quality product to offer. However, my book cover did not encourage people to pick up the book, actually read it, and fall in love with my characters. So think about the books that you read. Think about the ones that you actually enjoy reading or the ones that you just couldn't wait to start reading. Usually, now not always, but usually those are books with really amazing covers. Covers that make that you look at them and you just want to grab them off the shelf and start reading right away because you know it's something that's going to be exciting, something that's going to be good. So that was kind of my thinking. I knew that I needed a new cover. So part of getting a new cover, I found an amazing graphic designer, Mandy at Stonebridge Books. She was amazing to work with. She gave me a few mock-ups and I found I didn't even know what I wanted, but she was able to give me some guidance and some pointers and really work with me to get the best cover that there is. So before we move on, I think I'll do the cover reveal because you guys on my YouTube channel have not seen it yet. So here's the cover. You ready? Okay, did you like it? I love this cover. It's amazing. The symbol on it is just, it makes me so happy. We've been watching Marie Kondo, and so the symbol sparks joy for me. I actually had the opportunity to use the symbol in the interior of the book, which I'll talk about in a minute, but I'm just really excited about it. So I can't wait for you guys to see it and get it in your hands, and hopefully it makes you want to read the book. Definitely let me know in the comments if it does. Okay, so the second reason that I wanted to redo the book, this is kind of funny, but I poured over my manuscript. I thought I dotted all my I's and crossed all my T's and had all the commas in place. Okay, so most of that I did, and it was fine. I caught a few things because I went back and reread the book once I had the physical copy in my hands. But there was one word, just one word, that I had used the wrong word and it drove me crazy. Once I found it, I was like, are you kidding me? How did I miss this? And so I'm going through the dictionary wait, did I really use the wrong word? Am I just thinking? It's no, I definitely used the wrong word. The word I think was weighted, and I used the word weighted, W-A-D-E-D, and it should have been wadded, W-A-D-D-E-D. And so I just missed a D, but it was driving me nuts. So I said if I ever re-release the book, I would fix that. So I got my opportunity, I got to fix it. So another reason you can choose to do a re-release is to fix a few things in the interior that may not have been perfect, or that you found after the fact that somebody missed. It's totally fine. Things happen. If you happen to catch things, even if you did have an editor and they were amazing, everybody's still human. It's still a possibility that there were a few little tweaks that you caught, or maybe when you reread through it, you're just like, no, I think that needs to be done another way. It's a perfect opportunity to change those things. Even books, yes, they're printed in those original first editions. Hopefully they'll be valuable someday, fingers crossed. But I can at least still correct all those things that I saw. So that was kind of my second reason. And my third reason that I really wanted to do a re-release was something that I've seen a lot of series do, and I am writing a series, the Codex series. So I really wanted to be able to incorporate this in my books. And the thing I wanted to incorporate the most was giving a preview of the next book. So when I originally released my first book, I did not have the second book completely written yet. It took me about five months or so after I released the first book to finish the second book. So I didn't feel confident putting a preview of the second book in the first book because I didn't even know how the story would end, how the things were going to play together, if the first few sections, pages were even going to stay in the book. So I wanted to at least finish it and then edit the beginning at least enough so that I felt confident that I can include that as a preview in the first book. So now with the re-release, it's going to be over a year later. I have finished the second book. If you followed me lately and you've kind of been seeing what my goals are for September, I have like 3 weeks to finish editing my second book. So like September 30th, I've given myself a deadline of September 30th. Now, at that point, here's a little side note, I will be looking for beta readers. So if you're interested, I have put the link to the form down in the description. It's a quick form. It'll give you information about the second book. So hopefully it'll help you make a decision. If you are interested in reading The Prophecy of the Codex, which is book 2, I'm looking for readers both who have read the first book and those who have not. So if you're interested in that, please click the link, fill out the form. I'm going to send it out to as many people as I can, but just please feel free. If you have some reading time available in October and November, I'm hoping to get some feedback back, hopefully by the beginning of December, so I have some time to get that wrapped up and get all the edits done and everything, and hopefully get that ready for the release maybe in the spring. Fingers crossed again. But that's kind of the plan. So if you're interested, please click the link below. Okay, so that was on a little tangent. But going back to the preview, so I wanted to include a preview of the second book. I finally got the book to where I feel like it's pretty decent, and I know that at least the first part should mostly stay that way. Now, I'm of the persuasion, because I'm a self-published author, because I'm doing this all myself, I'm of the persuasion that things can change. So if I want to change it, or even if I just want to do a few little tweaks, it still would be okay, in my opinion. If I scrapped the entire thing and went a whole different direction with it, that might be a problem for the reader. They may have some problems. But if I changed a sentence or even like the name of a character, it might be just a funny little coincidence. But hopefully those things won't happen. Hopefully things will stay pretty much how I have them now. But I want to talk a little bit about the book preview. I was talking to some other writers about this, and we were toying around with the ideas. We were talking about what you include for a preview. So someone had asked, I think, if you could include just any scene from the book, or if you had to include like the beginning of the book. My answer to that is, well, if you're self-publishing, you can do what you want. It's pretty simple as that. You can include whatever scene you want if you feel like it will entice the reader to want to buy the second book when it comes out, and hopefully be waiting by the door for when that book ships to them and gets in their hands so they can read the second book. However, I chose to start from the beginning of book 2 because the story kind of continues right from there, and I was able to show I have like a prologue. So the beginning shows like the action scene that kind of sets the whole stage for everything. And then the first chapter kind of starts the story where you meet Kayla and Grady again and what their new life looks like, and their banter and how they are together. And you just kind of see like the cute part of it, you know, when you first start a book and just everything's kind of normal. And then you get to see them introduced to the mystery and see them kind of start to take action on that and start to go see what it's all about and see what happens. So I think it was a great place. It just I naturally kind of was able to tell where to stop the preview. But I just think it's just a great preview, and it really helps the reader get into the head of the second book and get into the story and want to find out what happens. So the caveat with that is you need to make sure your second book is pretty much ready to come out pretty quickly after the first one. So I have the re-release scheduled for November 12th of this year, 2019. So I hope you're excited for that. I showed you the cover already. The new content will be in there. The word correction will be in there. So hopefully it'll be just a great book, and I can't wait to get it in my hands. And I'll probably brag about it again on the channel and hold it up for you guys once I get it in my hands. But I have my second book scheduled for the spring. So that will be like 6 months or so that people will have to wait for the second book. So I know they were originally waiting for a pretty long time, but with the re-release, I'm hoping to gain a lot of new readers, which is kind of the reason why you do it. A lot of new readers, not only that buys the book, but people that actually will read the book. I think that's pretty much it. I covered like the 3 different points that I thought of when I was talking about this. So I just want to encourage you guys, if you feel like your first book is kind of lackluster and maybe you designed the cover yourself or you're not super happy with how it turned out, if you for any reason feel like you want to go through the time that it takes to do a re-release, maybe pay for a better cover designer this time, definitely check out Mandy at Stoneridge Books because I highly recommend her, and I'll leave her link in the description. But check it out. If you feel like it's something that might help your book sales, I definitely recommend it. So as another little bonus, I do intend to kind of keep you guys posted on the whole process. I'm planning to, my first book was done in CreateSpace, which if you know about the self-publishing world, CreateSpace is no longer around and it's actually KDP Print. So I will be using KDP Print for the first time. Wish me luck. And so I'm gonna kind of try to take really good notes on that process. Try to give you some tips and pointers on how you can use it well, how you can find the right categories for it, all of that. So I'm hoping to really get some details. And then I will also be using Ingram Spark. So I'm going to be going through the whole process again, but I hope to do some more videos on the whole process so you guys can see how I do KDP Print, how I do Ingram Spark, what kind of things I reevaluated when I did the re-release. So let me know if you want me to take note of anything else, if there's anything you're curious about. I will certainly keep that in mind while I'm going through the process so that I can help you guys out, because I really want to help you succeed in your writing business, whether it's through editing, making your writing better, helping you out through the publishing process, which can be super daunting, but I'm here for all of that. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I would love to chat with you about everything, find out what it is that you would like to know. Okay, so that's gonna wrap it up. Probably longer than I intended, but anyway, I hope you learned some kind of interesting things, and maybe it'll make you reevaluate your own book and see if you want to re-release it. If you do, please reach out to me. I'd love to kind of talk you through the process, and if there's things I can help you think about or consider, just please reach out. Don't forget to like the video if you feel like this was good content. Subscribe below. I am really close to 50 subscribers. Maybe I'm even over it by the time this video goes live. My name is Melissa Fry. I'm an author of The Secret of the Codex, whose second edition is coming this November 12th, 2019, with the re-released new cover and new content. I'm also a book editor. I'm booking out now for the rest of the fall and the winter. So if you have your book coming up soon, please let me know. Reach out to me. You can even leave a comment or you can DM me on any of my platforms. I've got the links below. So just feel free to reach out. I'd love to talk to you more about your book. And even if you don't decide to go with me as an editor, I still love to talk about books, so totally fine. I'm also a lover of stories and a grammar nerd, which you knew that. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye!